Hello everyone, welcome back to our story time. Today's story is perfect for intermediate learners around the B1 level. Have you ever felt like you had to run away from everything you know? Have you ever had to leave your home just to stay safe? Today we are traveling to Ethiopia for a classic traditional tale. It is a story about family running away and finding hope in unexpected places. Before we begin, let me remind you of our simple study guide. First, try to listen to the story without looking at the subtitles. Just close your eyes and let the English words wash over you. Second, listen again, but this time, read along with the text on the screen. Finally, for the third time, pause the video and practice speaking the sentences out loud. This is the natural way to learn. You do not need boring textbooks, you just need a good story. Are you ready? Let us begin. Chapter 1. The Dark Secret. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a girl named Adiberga. She was a very beautiful girl. Her heart was as beautiful as her face. She lived with her mother and her 4 older brothers. Her father had passed away, so Adiberga worked very hard. Every single day she woke up early, she fetched fresh water from the well, she cooked hot food for her family, she cleaned the entire house. She loved her family very much, but her 3 oldest brothers had a dark secret. They were growing older. It was time for them to get married, but they looked at all the girls in the village. They thought none of the girls were pretty enough. They wanted a wife exactly as beautiful as their sister. So the 3 older brothers made a wicked plan. Wicked means something that is very bad, evil, or morally wrong. Good people do good things, but bad people do wicked things. They decided that the oldest brother should marry Adiberga. Yes, you heard that correctly. They wanted a brother to marry his own sister. This was a completely wicked idea. It was against all the rules of nature and love. They told their mother about this wicked plan. At first, she was shocked, but soon she agreed. The mother and the 3 brothers decided to deceive Adiberga. To deceive someone means to trick them by telling a lie or hiding the truth. They did not want to tell her the truth. They wanted to deceive her into thinking everything was normal. They planned to lock the door when she came back from getting water. They wanted to trap her inside the house forever. They were ready to deceive the innocent girl. It was a truly wicked situation. Chapter 2. The True Brother. But remember, Adiberga had 4 brothers. The youngest brother was different from the others. He could not walk. His legs did not work. He could only use his arms to move around. He needed people to carry him. Adiberga was always kind to him. She carried him outside to sit in the warm sun. She fed him. She loved him purely. Because of her kindness, this youngest brother was completely loyal to her. To be loyal means to be a true friend who always supports you and never turns against you. While the older brothers were bad, the youngest brother remained loyal. He heard the terrible plan. He heard how his family wanted to deceive his dear sister. He knew he had to protect her. A loyal person always protects the people they love. One afternoon, he looked at his sister. He said, "Adiberga, please carry me outside. I need to go to the toilet." Adiberga picked him up in her strong arms. She carried him out of the house. She walked to a field of crops. "No, not here," he whispered. "Keep walking." She walked to another field. "No, not here," he said again. He made her carry him very far away from the house, near the edge of a deep forest. Finally, he told her to put him down on the soft grass. He looked into her eyes. He was a loyal brother, so he could not lie to her. "My dear sister, I brought you here to warn you. Our mother and our brothers have a wicked plan. They want to give you to our oldest brother. They want you to marry him tomorrow. They are trying to deceive you. You cannot go back to that house. You must run away right now." Chapter 3. the hard choice. Adiberga felt her heart break into a million pieces. Tears fell down her beautiful face. She looked at her home in the distance. She looked at her loyal brother. He had saved her from a terrible life. She knew she could not let her family deceive her. She had to leave everything she knew. "Thank you," she cried. "Thank you for being so loyal to me." She kissed his forehead. Then she turned around and started to run. She ran as fast as her legs could carry her. She ran away from the wicked plan of her older brothers. She did not pack any clothes. She did not take any food. She only took the truth in her heart. She traveled for many days. She walked over tall green mountains. She climbed down into deep, dark valleys. Her feet were tired. She was very hungry. She was completely alone in the wild world, but she kept moving forward. She knew she could never return to her mother's house. At last, she came to a very big, wide river. The water was deep and moving fast. She could not cross it. There was a giant tree growing right next to the river edge. Its branches reached out over the water. Adiberga decided to climb the tree. She hid herself high up in the green leaves. She felt safe there. She made a small bed in the branches. She ate wild fruits and drank rainwater. She had finally escaped the wicked trap. Chapter 4. The Face in the Water. Adiberga lived in the tree for a long time. She stayed very quiet. One sunny day, a young woman walked near the river. This woman was a servant. She worked for a very rich man who lived in a large house nearby. The servant brought a clay pot to get fresh water for her master. The servant stood on the edge of the river. She looked down at the calm, clear water. Suddenly she saw a face looking back at her from the water. This was a reflection. A reflection is the image you see when you look in a mirror or in still water. Adiberga was sitting in the tree exactly above the water, so her beautiful face made a clear reflection on the surface. But the foolish servant did not look up. She thought the reflection was her own face. She looked at the gorgeous eyes and perfect skin in the reflection. She smiled, and the reflection seemed to smile back. "Wow," the servant said out loud. "I am so beautiful. I did not know I was this beautiful. If I have such a beautiful face, I should not be a servant. I am too pretty to carry dirty water." Because she was so proud of the reflection, she threw her clay pot on the ground. The pot broke into many pieces. She walked back to her master's house empty-handed. But later, she realized she had made a mistake. Her master would be very angry. So she took another pot and went back to the river. Again she looked down. Again she saw the beautiful reflection. She dropped the second pot and broke it too. Up in the tree, Adiberga watched this silly servant. Adiberga thought it was funny. She gently dropped a small leaf onto the servant's head. The servant looked up. Finally, she saw the real girl sitting in the branches. She realized the reflection belonged to Adiberga. The servant ran back home immediately. She told her rich master, "Sir, there is a girl in the tree. She is more beautiful than the morning sun." Chapter 5. The Test of Truth. The rich master was very curious. He did not believe the servant's story, but he decided to go to the river to see for himself. When he arrived, he looked up into the giant branches. He saw Adiberga. He was amazed. The servant was right. The girl was incredibly beautiful, but the rich man was also smart. He knew that sometimes beautiful people can hide dark secrets. He wondered why a girl was hiding in a tree. He thought, did she do something wrong? Did she try to deceive her family, or is she innocent? He wanted to test her heart. He brought two things to the river. First, he brought a sharp metal spear. He pushed the spear into the soft dirt so the sharp point faced the sky. Second, He brought a soft, expensive carpet. He placed the soft carpet right next to the sharp spear. He looked up at Adiberga. He spoke in a loud, clear voice. "Listen to me, young woman. I do not know your story, but the universe knows the truth. Jump down from the tree right now. If you are a bad person running away from justice, you will fall onto the sharp spear. But if your family tried to deceive you and you are a good, innocent girl, you will fall safely onto the soft carpet." Adiberga was not afraid. She knew her heart was pure. She knew she had only run away from a wicked situation. She closed her eyes. She took a deep breath. She jumped from the high branch. She fell through the air. And just as the rich man promised, she landed softly and safely right in the middle of the beautiful carpet. The test proved she was honest. The rich man smiled warmly. He offered his hand. He asked her to marry him. Adiberga agreed. This new, safe life was her reward. A reward is a prize or a good thing you receive because you did something good or brave. She finally had a peaceful home as her reward. Chapter 6. The Magic Gift. Adiberga became the wife of the rich man. She lived in a giant, beautiful house. She had many servants. She wore nice clothes and ate good food. She was very happy, but she never forgot her past. Meanwhile, back in her old village, her loyal brother could not stop thinking about her. He missed his sister every single day. Even though he could not walk, he decided to find her. He pulled his body across the ground using only his arms. It was a slow and painful journey, but a loyal brother never gives up. He searched through villages and towns. After many months of traveling, he finally arrived at a huge gate. It was the rich man's house. Adiberga was looking out of her window. She saw a man on the ground. She sent her maids to check. "Madam," the maid said, "he is a poor man who cannot walk, but he looks just like you." Adiberga rushed outside. She cried with joy. She hugged her brave, loyal brother. She brought him inside and washed his tired hands. She introduced him to her rich husband. She told her husband the whole story. She explained how this brother had saved her from their family's wicked plot. The rich husband was deeply moved. He wanted to give the brother a massive reward for his bravery. When it was time for the brother to go home, the husband gave him a special leather bag. He also gave him a wooden stick. "Take this bag," the rich husband said. "This is your reward. When you get back to your village, take this stick and hit the bag." The brother thanked them and traveled back home. When he arrived, his older brothers laughed at him, but the youngest brother ignored them. He took the wooden stick. He hit the leather bag. Suddenly, by pure magic, dozens of strong horses, fat cows, and healthy sheep jumped out of the bag. He became the wealthiest man in the entire village. It was the perfect reward for a pure heart. The truth was finally known, and his great reward made sure the dark past could never hurt him again. Sometimes leaving everything behind is the only way to find your true path. Keep moving forward, and life will eventually bring you exactly what you deserve. To see what happens when someone refuses to let go of their toxic jealousy, click the video on your screen right now titled "The Stepmother's Evil Plan." See you there.